Let me see if that makes sound now. Let me see if that makes sound now. So I had no sound. So if you just watched me for 4 minutes, I basically said that I redid some stuff on my computer this weekend and wasn't sure if I hooked everything up correctly. And apparently I hooked it up okay, but apparently I didn't have sound turned on. So, yeah. So, 4 minutes of you guys watching me um, mess with my phone, have no sound. How was that? In there. Now I have lipstick. So, anyway, we're here today to talk about the full moon, and I'm a mess. Okay. I've still been sick, um, as you can tell by the sound, that I have not been feeling well still. But now I can at least talk a little bit without having to completely go into a coughing fit. So if I do some coughing, I do apologize for that. Okay. All right. So let's get started. Usually, what I do is I start with some astrology. So, um, trying to get myself organized here now that I've like literally just, been talking to myself for 4 minutes before I actually came live. So, we're here today to talk about the full moon in Virgo, which is actually on Tuesday. But I couldn't come live on Tuesday, so you guys got me on Sunday, which is fine. You'll have a little bit of time to prepare. So, um, what's going to happen during this full moon? So we have a couple of things going on. Nothing to be worried about, nothing earth shattering, nothing scary, um, nothing to be too concerned about or anything like that. But what is happening is we have a full moon in Virgo and the sun is in Pisces. So Virgo and Pisces are what they call like the polarities. So, like, basically the extreme opposites, right? So we have two energies that are very different that are going on at the same time. We have days where the moon is in Virgo during Pisces time, and times when the um, moon is in Pisces when we're in Virgo, and things like that. But during the full moon, where the energy is a little bit more amplified, um, that makes a little bit more of a difference. But again, it's not horrible. It's not anything that you need to freak out about or anything like that. There just may be some struggling with some stuff, but we'll get into that a little bit. So, and I'm sorry, you'll have to kind of deal with my coughing. All right. So, like I said, Pisces, sun is in Pisces right now. I'm a mess. So Pisces is very watery, very emotional, very spiritually connected. So it's a very, I don't want to say upper, but upper chakras, I guess. It's Pisces is very like crown chakra energy, and Virgo is very earth. It is an earth sign, and it's all about service and work and responsibility. So it's a very lower chakra sign. So that's kind of where you're getting like the two opposites, right? Um, so neither one is bad. Like I said, you're just getting you may kind of feel like you're all over the place, kind of like a roller coaster a little bit. Like, why am I so like I'm all emotional and then I'm fine and then I'm not and then I'm maybe you're not going to experience that. But if you do, then that is why. Okay. And it all depends on if you've been watching my videos for a while, it all depends on where your placement is, on how it's going to affect you. So if you are somebody who has a lot of Virgo in your chart, it's going to affect you differently than somebody if you've got a lot of Pisces in your chart, or if you've got a lot of earth signs, or if you have a lot of water signs. Where those placements are in your chart is going to depend on how it affects you. If you don't know where your placements are, please let me know, and I can certainly help you with that, help you figure out where all that is. Because the more you know about your own placement of the charts, the more when I explain things to you, it will make sense to you, and you'll know how to apply that to your individual chart. I can't give everybody's chart readings because literally everybody's chart reading is different. So that's why, but I can give you the basics of what's the energy is kind of going on, okay? So, like I said, there may be some issues with finding some balance between the two different energies that are coming, right? So, Virgo is going to be about function and routine, physical health, and the need for order. So Virgo is very, like I said, they're very responsible. They want to be doing something. They want to be doing something in service of something or someone. They basically need to have a purpose for everything, and they need to feel like everything they're doing has a purpose. So that energy is the Virgo energy. The Pisces energy is the visionary people, the dreamy people, the very spiritually connected people. They tend to be very I don't want to say disordered, but they're um, they're more all over the place. Okay, I guess they're just kind of Virgo, like I said, is very organized and very like this is the way we're doing it, this is the way it goes, these are the rules, or whatever. And Pisces is just kind of like, oh, let's just go and do it and we'll figure it out as we go. So that's kind of the difference there. Virgo rules the tools and the techniques that we use to deal on a day-to-day basis, where Pisces rules the tools we use for our spiritual self. So again, a little bit of the difference is there for you. So it's really going to be finding that balance of the energies. And, if you don't find the balance of the energies, like I said, it's not going to be bad. You just might kind of feel like you're on a roller coaster, kind of like riding the waves of emotion versus responsibility versus tasks versus being disorganized. So you might just kind of feel all over the place. But again, none of the energies are bad. There's nothing really there's not anything that's in tension. Sometimes we talk about signs that are in conflict, things like that. It's not quite the same as that. It's just that we're getting two energies that are basically the opposite of each other. So that's all really. It's just the opposite. But that's where that balance is going to be maybe a little bit challenging to find for you. So, so one of the things I wrote down is like the balance of kind of being practical and impractical, of being critical or accepting. Things like that might be a little bit hard to navigate on Tuesday for you. So, one of the things I usually start with this, and I didn't start with it, but the full moon is all about illumination, right? It's all about setting our intentions. Sorry, I'm always afraid if I mute the sound, then it's going to mute the microphone, but I don't think that's going to happen, but we'll see. So it illuminates. The full moon is about illuminating. Sorry, now I've distracted myself. And so we talk about at full moon setting. God, I can't even think now. At the new moon, we set intentions. At the full new moon, we set intentions. At the full moon, we release. So we're going to release things that don't serve us anymore. obstacles that are in our way, things like that. So usually I will tell you on Monday when I do my videos in the morning for the weekly astrology to kind of start to make a list of what it is that you might want to be releasing. So where it's Sunday and you have a couple of days till Tuesday, you still have some time to work on that list of things that might not be serving you, things that might be obstacles in your way, things that are just not working out for you, whatever it is that you need to be releasing. Maybe it's anger. Maybe it's jealousy. Maybe it's a person. Maybe it's a job. It could be all different kinds of things. So you can start to make that list of things that are not working for you that you want to go ahead and release, things that you want to clear out of your way. So there also may be something that kind of gets illuminated, right? So that's the full moon illuminates things. So something might kind of, it's not going to be like a surprise, because sometimes I talk about that stuff during astrology. Something might be um, something that was hidden that might come to light, things like that. This is more going to be like the light bulb coming on of something that has been lacking in your life, whether it be a personal life thing or your life path or your relationship or something like that. There's going to be a light bulb come on that's kind of like, oh, that's what's been missing. Um, so something like that's going to be probably coming around for you. And it could be big, it could be small. Everybody's is different. It might not necessarily be life changing, or sometimes I think they are life changing, but they're not real big. But that little change may lead to another little change, which leads to another little change, and so on and so forth. And then therefore you get something that's life altering. So anyway, I hope that made sense because I think I rambled a little bit. But so we're going to switch over to some of the things that you might want to be working with during this particular full moon. My hair's driving me nuts. I'm just a mess. My nose is stuffy. I sound like a frog. So one of the first things we usually talk about is affirmations. And so if you are someone who likes to work with an affirmation, that is amazing. If you're somebody who doesn't work with an affirmation or doesn't know what an affirmation is really, it's a saying that we say to ourselves in our head or out loud. I think out loud is more powerful, but if you don't want to be the crazy lady that talks to herself, that's fine. I really don't care. Most people know I talk to myself anyway. So I have whole lot of conversations out loud with myself. Sometimes I argue with myself. But anyway, I like to do affirmations while I'm brushing my hair, while I'm putting on my makeup, while I'm stirring my coffee, things like that. I like to find time where I'm doing something, but it's something that I don't really need to be focused on or concentrate on, right? I don't really need to be like very mindful of brushing my hair or stirring the sugar into my coffee. So I can use that time to be doing the affirmation at the same time. While you're in the shower, shampooing your hair, say your affirmations. Just find things that you're doing anyway that don't need your full attention. Cooking dinner, whatever, driving. You do need to pay attention to driving, but you can say your affirmations out loud while you're driving. So you don't need to find a time to set aside and do an affirmation. If you want to, you certainly can. You can meditate with it. You can set aside a time, use your malas to do your affirmations. There's no wrong way, right? So anyway, this affirmation that I picked is, I'm going to write it in the comment. Affirmation is, I embrace the medicine that, I can't type, that I am here to bring to, I don't type fast, so the world. I embrace the medicine that I am here to bring to the world. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean it has to be medicine, physical medicine. It doesn't need to be herbs, teas, anything like that. The medicine is a metaphor for whatever it is that you're bringing. And if you don't know what you're bringing yet, then, that's okay. You can figure it out as we go. If you need help, you can always let me know. But usually I find people know the answer. They know why they're here. Sometimes they need a little push, or they don't trust their intuition, or they just need somebody to tell them that they're on the right path. So, all right. The next thing we're going to talk about is the tarot card. So usually I pick a tarot card each month to work with during the new moon and the full moon. And so the card that is associated with the Virgo is the Hermit card. And as you can see, I do not have a traditional tarot rider waite. Why am I blanking on things today? Card deck. I have a custom deck, but I really love the pictures on these cards. So the Hermit. Everything is going off here today. So many sounds. All right. So can you see that? All right. So the Hermit is sometimes wary of the outside world. Makes sense, right? Needs to slow down sometimes. Needs to go within sometimes. And retreats to explore. So what I mean by that is maybe going hiking, maybe walking in the woods, maybe walking in the park, wherever you are, whatever you can do. But usually you like something that you're exploring, but you are by yourself. So whatever that may look like for you. Maybe it's biking, maybe it's hiking, mountain climbing. My husband is a Virgo, and he loves to go just walking in the woods, him and the dog. So he is retreating, he's replenishing his batteries, he's doing all the things that he needs to do while he's out there. He is the Hermit. All right. So if you don't have a tarot deck, you can just Google tarot and the Hermit and click images, and like a bazillion different ones will come up. The traditional one will come up, but then other decks will come up as well. I like to just recommend that you just kind of scroll through until you find one that was kind of like, ooh, that's pretty. I like that one. And a good way to work with them is you can print them out, or you can make them your screensavers on your computer or on your phone. That's really good ways to work with them. All right. So the next thing we're going to talk about is archetypes. So the archetype for the Virgo, that sounds weird. For Virgos is the craftsman. And so I did just what I said. I Googled it and found a picture that I liked. Oh, come on, stop it. Try to get it. So I know it's not great because it's on my phone, but so I like the kind of older Viking kind of feeling to it. He's got the big hammer like Thor, kind of a wise old guy with a beard. But there's lots of different pictures you can pick. If you just Google archetypes, the craftsman. Craftsmen are detailed, pride, high standards, no substitutes, skilled, hardworking, basically all exactly the same things that you would say if you were describing a Virgo. Okay. So if you wanted to work with the Virgo energy of the craftsman, you could do that as well. Some stones you might want to work with are citrine. So citrine is kind of a yellowy, orangey color, but kind of clear. I don't know if you can kind of see that it's got a yellowy hue to it. Not really. That doesn't help much. Sorry. So citrine is the reason I picked it. Citrine is good for lots of different things. All the stones I've picked are good for lots and lots of different things, but I'm not going to go over every single thing. I'm going to go over the reason I picked it, okay? So citrine can be for those who can be overcritical. And Virgos can be overcritical. They can be overcritical of themselves, but they can also be overcritical of others. That organized, like I said, detailed, high standards, um, the whole detail-oriented thing about Virgo, they can tend to be overcritical, like I said, of themselves or of others. My husband will get working on a project and he needs it to be like, and I'm like, just do it. It's fine. I'm like, nobody's going to notice that. And there might be like one little teeny tiny little thing, and he wants to make sure it's perfect. And that's why knowing about yourself and your partner is very helpful. But yeah, I try to tell him, I'm like, don't stress about it. Do not stress yourself out about it. It's fine. But so if you have somebody or you are feeling a little overcritical of yourself or someone else, you might want to work with some citrine. The next thing I picked is carnelian. And carnelian is, the reason I picked it is good for hardworking. So if you really want to tap into that Virgo energy of hardworking, if you're somebody who is very Pisces and is very disorganized and kind of whatever and go with the flow and um, doesn't get things done a lot, or doesn't tend to finish things, maybe you want to work with some carnelian and tap into that energy of getting things done and getting some hard work in there. So that's different ways you can work with it. I do want to point out, if you are a Virgo and you are somebody who is hardworking and is always on the go, and you work with carnelian, you are not going to be more hardworking. That isn't correct grammar wise, but so if you're already up here, like on Virgo, would be actually up here, but if you're here for like Virgo of doing hard work and you work with this, it isn't going to put you up here. It's actually going to bring you down here. It's going to bring you to balance. Working with the stones brings you to balance. So, but if you're somebody who's down here, who doesn't have a lot of that drive to get things done, and you're down here, it's going to help bring you up here. But like I said, if you're up here and you work with this, it's not going to send you like over the top. It's going to bring you down to back to center, back to middle ground. Okay. I like to cover that because a lot of people don't always understand that. The other one I picked is some lapis. And lapis is good for, the reason I picked it today is good for that drive for perfection. And again, if you are a little lacking in that area, it's going to help bring you up here. If you are somebody who has a lot of Virgo in your chart already, or other placements that, have you up here and you work with it, again, it's going to bring you to balance. So it's not going to send you over the top. It's going to help bring you to balance, which is where we all want to be, right? At balance. We want to be hardworking. We want to have drive, but we don't want to be crazy insane. and frantic about getting things done or stressed about getting things done. So we want to be here, and not here. Okay. So those three stones are really good ones to work with. Somebody asked one day in a video, what do you mean when you say work with? So if you're not familiar with stones, work with really doesn't necessarily mean anything. Right now, I'm working with these stones. I am holding them. I'm working with all these stones that are on my bracelet. I'm working with this stone that is on my necklace. So working with them, in my opinion, other people may have different opinions on it. Some people say you have to have contact with them. I don't think you do. You have an energetic field, like your aura, of how far out your energy is, right? So it's kind of like that personal space, our bubble. Um, I don't know if I go 6 feet, like stay 6 feet away from each other, but at least arm's length. Okay. So if I put those stones right there, which you can't see them, but they're right here, I would still consider I'm working with those stones because they're in arm's reach. I can get them back. If they're way over there and I'm sitting here and I can't reach them, now I consider I'm not working with them. Okay. So if you have them in the console of your car, if you're wearing jewelry, if you have them on the end table where you sit to watch TV, all of those things are working with the stones. Okay. I do recommend being cautious of stones that you keep in the bedroom because certain stones will disrupt your sleep. So there are a lot of stones that are perfectly fine to keep in your bedroom, but I, on a personal note, just don't keep stones in my bedroom. I don't take my jewelry off at night, but I don't keep extra stones in the bedroom. All of my stones are in the living room area. There's some in the kitchen. I don't think I have anything in the bathroom besides maybe my jewelry. I have other jewelry with stones in the bathroom, but most of them are in my living room where I spend most of my time when I'm in the house. Okay. So that's what I mean by working with the stones. You can put them in your bra. You can put them in your pocket. You can, like I said, wear them as jewelry, whatever you choose. But as long as it's in basically that arm's length distance. So I'm still working with those stones because they're still in arm's length distance. Okay. So I hope that makes sense. All right. Moving on to herbs and oils. Some of the ones I picked for today are pretty simple ones. I don't necessarily know if you'd have all these in your cupboard. I have all of them in my cupboard, but I have a lot of herbs in my cupboard. The first one I picked is bay leaves. And again, these all have lots of different purposes, lots of different benefits, medicinal and spiritual. I'm going to just go over the reasons I picked them for today for this full moon. So bay leaves are really good for opportunity and prosperity. You have probably seen people writing out whatever they're trying to manifest or whatever they're trying to release on a bay leaf. Some people may keep it in a jar. Some people may burn them. Again, there's no right or wrong way. However you feel called to do it. But bay leaves are really good for opportunity and prosperity. The other one I picked a couple is juniper berry, which is all about adaptability. So I really felt like juniper berry was like the one for this month, this full moon. Adaptability, right? So for me personally, it's all about adapting to the two opposites. The adapting to how do I want to say it? Adapting to being open to either or, to either being really disorganized or being really organized, to being really hardworking or kind of being go with the flow. Um, Whatever the energy is that's going to be coming, just adapt to it and just kind of go with it. So I really felt like I don't feel like I'm explaining it well, but I really feel like just kind of being able to adapt to whatever the energy is going to be really important for us. So um, the next one I picked is rosebuds. It's all about happiness and soul connection. So a little bit of that Pisces energy there of connecting. And then sage, which is really good, you guys know, for clearing, but it's also really good for grounding and centering. So again, kind of finding that balance of everything. I repeat myself a lot, but it's really all about finding that balance. And if you have that adaptability, then you're going to be able to find that balance a lot easier than if you're more on the teeter totter kind of thing. So, we're going to come back to the herbs in just a minute when we talk about our craft. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is colors. I like to work with colors. And so Virgo's colors are green and brown, um, which, Virgo is about grounding. So brown is all about stability, and it's the color of the earth. And green, we think of green when we think of earth. So green and brown. Green is about growth, brown is about stability. But they're very earth colors, right? So again, I have a wide collection of ribbons. I go to the dollar store and just load up a basket full of different colored ribbons. And whatever I'm working with, whether it be like Virgo colors or spring colors or high holiday colors or whatever it is, I pull out my ribbons and I just put ribbons around the house. Like I might tie ribbon around a candle. I have a broom that hangs on my back door. I'll tie different color ribbons on the broom. Tie different ribbons on the lampshades, the curtains, like just I have lights that hang in the living room. I tie different color ribbons on the lights. Just however easy ways to do it. Then when you're done, you untie it, you throw it back in the drawer until the next time you want to work with that color ribbon. So it's super easy to work with color that way. You can also work with candles, colored candles. You can paint things those colors. Um, you know, um, just like we all kind of do, like at Christmas time, like we all bring out the Christmas placemats and the napkins and the pot holders and all the stuff that are Christmassy. You could have colors of all those things that you could change out as well. There's like just really simple ways you can work with colors. Um, so, and it's really fun and it really helps bring in that energy as well. So, um, you can also work with stones those colors. We didn't talk about stones those colors, but you could easily work with some green or some brown stones, and you could grid with it. You could throw these colors in with those colors and make a grid. Possibilities are endless, really. So just kind of go with the flow and follow your gut and do what feels right for you. So, gonna two more things: journal prompt, and then we're gonna just talk about our craft real quick. So then we'll wrap it up. So, journal prompt, and again, I'll put it in here. Journal prompt. I have to spell things correctly. This one's actually really different than what I normally pick. So this prompt is usually I give you a question for you guys to reflect on and write about. So this one is a little different. There's not that many N's in that word. No, I'm not a typer. So make a list of 10 things that you want to achieve over the next month. Gives you 30 days, so you don't have to rush, but 10 things, and they can be small things. They can be big things. If it's a big thing, I would recommend not doing 10 big things. But maybe if you have like a big goal, all right, well, I'll use the example that we're doing right now. We're doing a remodel in the house. So I could write remodel, and that would be one of my things. But the list I have in the house is move the door, take out the cupboard, take out the closet, take out the dresser, install shelving. So do you see? I broke it down to small, easy things for us to do. And that way we have a game plan of the order of how we want to do things and everything that we need to do to finish the project. There's probably more than 10 on my list, but it's pretty close. It's probably maybe like 12 things on there. But that's a perfect example. So if your big thing is to open a business, I wouldn't put open a business as one of the 10 items. I would break it down. Get my business license, get my business cards, start a website, start a Facebook page, whatever it is. Those are the things I would use. Whether it's a new job, moving, a new car, whatever it is, break it down into 10 things that are going to be easy for you to do and get a goal accomplished. Now, if you don't have a big goal, a big giant goal to accomplish, that's okay too. Maybe you do have just a bunch of little projects around the house that you need to get finished. I need to start to do my shopping for getting my seeds ready. So I'm going to need trays. I'm going to need soil. I'm going to need my seeds. I want to get a heating thing. I want to get a lamp. So, maybe that's one item. Get everything I need on my shopping list for starting my seeds. So, they don't have to be a big purpose at the end. It doesn't have to be a main purpose at the end. It can be just small things. Maybe it's just you want to spring clean. One thing on my list that I haven't got done, I keep pushing it out because I just haven't had time, is clean my fridge. I really want to take everything out, wash it all, put it all back. So that could be one of your items, but I think you guys get the idea. Whether you've got a big goal, break it down and make it nice, easy, achievable steps, or if you just got a bunch of random things that you need to get done, make your list and try like every week to try to get 2 to 3 things done, right? So you don't have to do it all in the first week. You have a month. And maybe the first week you pick the 3 easiest steps. That's fine. Maybe in like the case of our remodeling, we have put the steps in the order that we need to get them done. So however you want to pick them is fine. And then when you're done at the end of the month, go back and see what you got done. And maybe you realize that what you got done was not as important as what you thought it was. Or maybe when you went back and looked like, I really didn't get anything done on this list. Maybe that's because it wasn't as important as you thought it was. So reevaluate that and just kind of see where that is for you. Was it really just a time thing and you just really didn't have time and you want to continue to work on the list? Give yourself another month or give yourself 6 months or whatever, and like I said, reevaluate, but maybe you'll just go back and go like, maybe that wasn't really as important as I thought it was. So, all right, last thing, and then I will shut up. um, all right. So the last thing is making a spray. Now, we have talked about our herbs and our oils of making perfumes, making incense, making bath salts. Like we've talked about lots of things that you could do with your herbs and your oils. Um, this particular craft, what I'm going to do, and if you would like to do it as well, is I'm going to take the bay leaves, the juniper berry, the rosebud, and the sage. I'm going to put it into, I'm going to get a pot of water. It doesn't have to be super big. Maybe, like just a regular little size pan. A pot of water, maybe like, I don't know, 2 cups, 3 cups of water. Doesn't have to be a ton, like 2 cups of water, I think, 3 cups. And I'm going to get that boiling. And then I'm going to put all my ingredients in. And I'm going to let that boil for probably 2 to 3 minutes. And then I'm going to turn it down and let it not down to a simmer, not like a simmer pot. I'm going to just turn it down so it's not boiling over, basically. And let it stay on like a medium heat for probably about 10 minutes. So it's probably going to be in the water close to 15 minutes. You're going to put it in a spritz bottle, and you can use that to work with the energies of those plants. So you can spray, I say you can spray anything with it, but in the case of the fact that this has some red in it, so the juniper berry and the rosebuds are probably going to give it some redness. You might not want to spray it on anything white, right? So, but you can spray the air. I like to spray my car seats. They're a black fabric, so it's not really going to bother them. So I spray the blankets in the living room, which are a dark blue, so that's fine. You can spray yourself, use it as a body spray. Again, just be wary of what you're wearing for colors for clothing. Because like I said, the juniper berry is going to give it some red, and it may stain certain colors. But you can spray it pretty much anywhere if if you're okay with that. And it's going to help clearing, and it's going to help store like little pump spray bottles. Carry it with you. Put one in your car. Put one at work. Carry one in your purse, leave one in the living room, leave one in the bathroom. Those are always handy to have in the bathroom as well. Good morning, Kimberly. How are you today? We're just finishing up, but you can certainly go back and watch the video. We're talking about the full moon in Virgo, which is on Tuesday. So, but yeah, that's going to wrap it up for me today. I apologize for all my stuffy soundingness and my technical issues that I had in the beginning this morning. So if you are going back to watch it, Kimberly, if you're going back to watch it, skip through like the first 4 minutes because I was having a lot of technical sound problems this morning. So like the first 4 minutes of the video is just me talking with no sound. So, but yeah, so I hope something in this video was helpful for you. Please tag a friend, share it with a friend, put it on your Facebook page. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe, make sure you ring the bell, all those things I'm supposed to say. So, all right. So I hope you have a really good week. I'll be back tomorrow morning, hopefully. I'll be feeling up to it. Today I'm feeling pretty good. So hopefully I'm on the mend. And I'll be back tomorrow morning. It'll be early because I have to go in for work at 7. But yeah, so hopefully I'll be here tomorrow to see you guys as well. And as always, remember to be kind. Your kindness is not only going to improve your day, it's going to improve somebody else's day, and it could potentially change someone's life for the better. So thanks for watching, guys. Love you. Bye.